Hello and welcome to XQ. Today I'm going to do a full walkthrough of how to externally share an XQ encrypted Snowflake database table externally. Here you'll notice I have an XQ encrypted Snowflake database table where the first name, last name, email, and phone number are all uniquely encrypted, with each individual row having a unique key. In order to get started, we first have to share this encrypted table with an external reader user. To do so, simply navigate to the data section followed by private sharing and reader accounts. Here we can create a new reader account by clicking on the new button in the top right corner. All you'll have to input is an account name of your choosing, a username, password, and confirm password, followed by clicking the create account button. Here I already have an account created, which I'm going to utilize for this demonstration. You'll have to share the locator URL with the external user that's going to be accessing this table, including the authentication credentials that you provided previously. Additionally to that, you'll have to allow access to this external reader. Within the Shared With You tab, you can click the Share, followed by Create a Direct Share. Select the database table you wish to share with the external user. Here I'll use the table that I displayed previously, followed by inputting the reader account that you just created, and click the Create Share button. Once this is complete, the external user can log in to the Snowflake account that you just created, and they'll have access to the table. To access the external reader account, the external user can go to the URL you provided to them previously, followed by using the authentication credentials that were created. Click the Sign In button. Once you are signed in, you'll have to import the database that was shared with you. Click on the Data section, followed by Private Sharing, and on the specific database that was shared, click Get Data. You can also adjust and create additional roles that have access to this specific database. Once you're complete, click the Get Data button. Click Done, followed by going into your worksheet. Create a new worksheet, and in order to actually access the specific database, you can click the Database dropdown, followed by clicking the Shared Database and the schema associated with the database. Once that is done, create a data warehouse within the external reader account. Now, you should be able to select values from the shared database table. You'll notice that all these shared values are still uniquely encrypted utilizing XQ. In order to decrypt these values, we will utilize Snowflake's Snowpark environment. Now that the external user account is set up in Snowflake, I can set up my Snowpark environment. Here, I have a Python Snowpark environment with a number of connection parameters to allow my connection to Snowflake. I've set up the account, username, and password. This is the credentials that were created previously, followed by the role, the warehouse, and the database and schema. Additionally to that, using the XQ Python SDK, I can authorize myself to XQ to be able to decrypt the encrypted data within the database table. Here, if I run this code, it'll request that I input my associated email. Once I've done so, I'll receive a PIN to that specific email address. I can utilize this PIN and input it here to be able to decrypt the data. Once I've done so in this scenario, since I'm still not authorized to access the encrypted data, this will actually just spit out the encrypted data itself within the database. I have to go into the XQ admin account and associate this specific external user to be able to access the encrypted data. Here, I'm going to add the external user as part of my XQ team to be able to access the encrypted data. You can do so under the team section and click the plus sign and add new. I'm going to add that specific email address of the external user in order to allow them to access the encrypted data. Once a contact is created, all the external user has to do is go to their email and simply accept the invitation to the specific workspace. Once they've accepted the invitation, now I can run the exact same code I was running before, authorize the external user, input the PIN that they received their email, and now the individual row items will be decryptable by the external user. As you can see here, all of that encrypted data can be uniquely decrypted on the fly as the user is running their analytics. As an administrator, I can revoke individual users' remote access to encrypted data. In this example, if I go back to the user that I just added, edit info, followed by delete contact, input their specific email, followed by clicking the confirm delete button, now they will no longer have access to any of the encrypted data. So now, if I run the exact same strip of code again, authorize myself as the individual external user, followed by adding the PIN that was provided to my email, as you'll see, the remote user no longer has access to any of the data, regardless of their access to the specific database. This can also be revoked on an individual row item. You can do so by going directly into the communications log, clicking on a specific row, and I can revoke all in the situation. Additionally to that, I can see a full complete compliance log of each individual access attempt to the specific row item.